Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Simon and today I am back to have a cuppa and a catch up with you where I talk about what's been going on, what is going on and what is coming up, all with a lovely cuppa, and I invite you to go and get a beverage, possibly a snack, and join me. Let's have a chat about what's been going on, what is going on, what's coming up, and you can tell me in the comments down below what's been going on with you. I'm hoping to do this as a premiere, so I'll be hopefully chatting away in the chat box as this goes live. Anyway, I'm not at home, as you can see, and there are various reasons for that which we'll talk about, but I'm in a wonderful apartment, very minimalist, but I've realised I could actually quite get into minimalism, can't say it, but I could get into it, and also quite muted, which I could also quite get into. I know, sometimes I shop myself, I'm all about bold and bright generally. Anyway, I've been in this wonderful apartment called The Curator for the last 3 days in Bath, having a bit of a mini break, and I've enjoyed it so much. I've booked another one for next week in the sister apartment to this one, and these apartments are done by the Curated Collection, who I'll link down below, and they've got 3 stunning apartments in Bath, and I love Bath, and they very kindly gave me a discount, so that was very nice of them. That's not a plug, it's not a spawn, that's a PR discount thingy. Anyway, it has been so needed, because I will say the main thing that's happened over the last few weeks, or since last time I did a cuppa and a catch up, is that I've just been super duper busy and possibly got a little bit lost in myself. Also, I think I've been overtired, but generally been feeling kind of like a failure. Now I'm out of that, and actually having these last few days, and it's why that I've booked to do it again, has really helped, because I've slept a lot, I've been away from it all, I've not had to think about work. Although weirdly, there's been a few little work things that have come up that are very exciting potentially, but maybe we'll talk about those a little bit later. But I went and had my hair and my beard and even my ears. It was a Turkish barber and they flamed my ears, which was terrifying and exciting all at once. And I went and had a spa day, and I've just been taking myself for nice meals and kind of treating myself, which is something I think we either get out of the habit of or feel kind of guilty about. And I have needed it. So I'm doing it all over again next week. And also what's been really nice is, because where I've been for work, like Bristol, lots of lovely indie bookshops, Bath, lots of lovely indie bookshops, and I have started vlogging again. And I guess that also links into some of the ways that I've been feeling a failure that I mentioned. So I had planned to do like a video a week while I was away and a vlog a week while I was away, and I wanted to capture this summer, and I haven't. I've caught some glimpses of it, but I didn't realise quite how busy the days would be and how little I would get to see of the places that we've been. So we'll tend to rock up somewhere on day 1, and we'll sort of arrive sometimes the night before, and then we have the morning suit admin, then we have to be on site from like 2 to set everything up, make sure that the 3D screen that isn't make sure the screen that makes you feel like you're watching 3D without 3D glasses kind of is ready, and getting all the other elements set up, making sure that your augmented reality trails works. That kind of runs until early evening, then we go for some food and a debrief, and then the next day it's kind of get up at 7, get breakfast, get on site at like 9, work until 6, 7, then go for another meal and a debrief, and then do it all over again the next day. And then the day after is get out, and then generally heading to where we're going next, or catching up with all the emails that I've not been able to do for the last sort of 48 hours. So I haven't seen as much of all the places as I would like. Plus I had COVID in July, which kind of crept in with this horrible chest infection into August, sadly. So I think all of that has been going on. So anyway, yeah, as I was saying, failure, sorry, there was a big noise. You hate it when people do that thing where they rev their car really loud, like, look at me, I've got a probably not very good car and I'm showing off about it. Anyway, anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so failure, and I think the biggest failure happened earlier this week when I'd wanted to make a vlog for Women in Translation Readathon, because I'd taken part and because I'd been to some really cool places during that time, like Swansea, where the beach was amazing and I had a fab time, and Newport, I was like living in cottagecore, and my mum had come to visit in Wolverhampton to try out the kit before she flew out to Jordan, and I basically went to go and edit another video and realised that my phone was like full, which is ridiculous because I've got 1 terabyte or whatever it's called on it, And it's because I've got so many vlogs that I've kind of started and kind of stopped. But anyway, I decided to empty my recently deleted, or whatever you call it, and shock, horror, gutted, went into an absolute rage. This was before my calming spa and everything in Bath, but kind of led me to wanting to do it. I realised that in deleting that, because I've been wearing the same outfits for some videos, because I'm trying to be more conscious of the planet and not be silly about having to wear something new every time I do a video, or something different, and because I've been recording in bulk, because I wanted to put out more content for all of you over the time that I'm away, and have kind of possibly pushed it a little bit too much on myself, but that's me, that's not you. I had deleted quite a lot of content from that video, and so I just was like, oh, for goodness sake. But what I decided to do after having some time to chill out and think about it is, no one knew I was going to be making that video. The only thing I'm sad about is that there's snippets of Mum trying out the kit, which would have been lovely to share, and also actually some footage with Pip where we were talking about what we're going to do to bring Crime Time back in the autumn. But it's not the be all and end all. Maybe I can make a summer snippets highlight. I think, although those videos don't tend to get many views, and not that I create to get views, but you do kind of, when you create something, if we're all being honest, want people to watch it. That's kind of why you do it. Anyway, so I decided, right, Simon, stop. Just don't film for a while. Have a breather. Just like, no one's expecting specific videos from you anyway, and I don't think people really notice how often somebody does or doesn't upload. Although maybe I sometimes crave certain people's videos when there hasn't been one for a while. Anyway, we all have favourites, don't we? But I thought, no, have a breather from it. Just stop. And then when I was having one of my wanderings around Bath, because as well as kind of just eating really nice food, going and having a spa, I haven't done any of the touristy stuff. I think I'm going to do that next week, and maybe make like a 48 hours in Bath vlog. I know Bath really, really well, so I've got lots of places that I'd love to share and recommend to all of you, which is why I'm not specifically asking for any Bath recommendations, and also why I was a bit secretive about where I was going, because if I say, because basically I didn't say where I was for the last few days on socials. I just said I'm going for a mini break, and that's because sometimes when you say where you're going, you can end up getting quite a few like recommendations, and whilst they're lovely, sometimes you just want to do what you want to do, and it can unintentionally put a bit of pressure on. So anyway, I was having one of my mooching wanderings around Bath, as I do, and I remember there's a place called Typo, and I thought, new stationery equals new start, new plotting and planning. And in my head I was like, aha, September is the beginning of the final quarter of 2022, so therefore I can choose to use that as a new start. Now, if you've been around here for any length of time, you know I love being a new start, but what I'm thinking is from September to just the end of December, I can sort of try out a few things, so that when I go into 2023, rather than it being like new year, new me, I think it said nude year, nude me. That's quite a different channel. But instead of being like new year, new me, this is it, I can actually test it out and see what works. And I think initially, probably for September, I'm still going to do one video during the week and then one sort of vloggy thing. But I have made, I will come to the stationery in a second, I have made a big decision, which is, and it's because I've been doing it with the vlogs that I've been filming, because I'm back filming vlogs, which is a really nice feeling because I really enjoy it. But I'm not saying what days they are like I used to, because that almost puts a bit of pressure. In fact, what I'm just doing is sort of, so the vlog is basically me picking up books by whim in indie bookshops to kind of see what appeals to me and what sort of reader I am at the moment and what kind of is working for me. And I don't know, I just thought it'd be a fun thing to do. And that's just happening sporadically over certain days, and it's really, really nice to do. But at the same time, that vlog will now, because I'm going to Bath again, I'm going to have a bath again, but I'm going back to Bath. Now that I'm going back to Bath, I felt that will be longer, so it might be that that vlog is like 2 weeks worth of footage, but also then I might do something like the 48 hours in Bath vlog. So they're going to be different lengths and things. I've got ideas of certain books. There's one book that keeps getting recommended to me non-stop at the moment, and I was like, I could do a vlog over a weekend, possibly when I'm staying in one of the hotels on the final few weekends of this project, where I read that book and kind of give you a like as I go response. Because I think as well, I've seen a few vlogs recently, like I absolutely love Gavin's vlog where he got on the Caledonian Sleeper and read a murder mystery. I'm like, why am I not doing more exciting things than that? And I'm thinking, Simon, you're bloody busy at the moment and you're going to have plenty of time on your hands come end of October. So chill your boots. We'll talk about that too in a little bit. Anyway, I mentioned these stationery. So what I've done is I have got myself some, and I got myself, I'm having a bit of a Care Bear moment. I got myself this Care Bear notebook, which says, take care of yourself, which I'm all about at the moment. And where in the back, I'm going to list sort of ideas as I have them. And then at the front, sort of breakdowns of what I want to talk about. Oh, things come off. But I haven't started writing it yet. I get sort of stage fright with, I get performance fright with notebooks, in the fact that as soon as I get one, I'm like, oh, you're so pretty, I don't want to ruin you with my writing, even though I've got quite nice handwriting, I will say. Anyway, and I also got myself a pencil case and some, not muted at all, actually maybe slightly muted, pens. So now I'm going to spend some time in this coming weekend in Swindon, when I'm going to be having quite a lot of downtime between the events, as it's a new crew and not the sort of crew that I'm used to, and I'm quite nervous around new people, believe it or not. And I think that's probably a little bit of anxiety in the back of my brain, which is why also I'm like, right, well, next week you're having a week off and then you'll see all your lovely friends again the weekend after. So in Swindon, I think I'm going to do a bit of plotting and planning, probably with some room service in the hotel, which is a treat in itself, frankly. So yeah, so that's the plan. The plan is from September, it's going to be a bit like, not all new, but like just testing things out a bit more and getting back into a routine. I'm also changing all of my Patreon, well, not all of it, I'm changing a bit of my Patreon. So if you're not a patron and would like to be, it's always linked down below. You get extra content of all sorts of kinds, sometimes a little bit haphazardly, but again, that's changing and I'm making that a bit easier on myself. There may even be a book club tier, but hold fire until I sort of announce that separately, because I haven't actually edited it or made it yet, because I've not been wanting to go on my computer while I've been away, and I probably won't want to next week, even though maybe I should. Maybe I'll do it over the weekend. Anyway, moving on to some exciting stuff though within all of this failure, is the fact that I have been reading again. I was in, and this may have led up to me feeling a bit failure-y, and actually I can think why it does. So this is like psychotherapy. Thank you very much for this. Basically, I have had some really slumpy months where I've barely been able to read, and I thought with all this travel again, all the trains, all the time in hotels or Airbnbs, I'd have loads of time to read, and it hasn't worked out that way. And so I think I've been putting pressure on myself. When I've had like comments on Instagram of like, why have you not been here and why have you not done that, and what's the latest thing you're reading, which is lovely because people are interacting, and that is when you put yourself on the internet what you're kind of out there for, but also can be a little bit woo. I just haven't really been reading, and I've just sort of been knackered and sleeping, and I have to remind myself that I do have a chronic illness, although I don't really like talking about it on the internet, and I don't know why that is. Maybe that's something I need to look at over the coming months, because I find when other people do, like Hannah and Jen, it's really, I don't know, it's just really something lovely about it. Yeah, anyway, that's a whole different thing. If you want to hear more about my chronic illness, let me know in the comments down below, and maybe I'll do some stuff on it, because there's going to be plenty of time to making content come October, which we will get to, I promise. But what I was saying is my reading is happening again, and that is lovely. I've read quite a few books for Women in Translation Month. A lot of them have been quite short, but that seems to have really, really helped. I feel like I've discovered a new favourite author in the past couple of weeks. And yeah, I've just been kind of devouring more, and I think actually going to these bookshops and perusing and sort of having a mooch, and can you tell mooch is currently my favourite word at the moment, and sort of going by whim a bit more is definitely the way forward. I will tell you what I'm about to start reading, and that is 2 Years, 8 Months and 28 Nights by Salman Rushdie. I had a panic in Bath because I went to go to Toppings, which is one of my favourite bookshops, and it was like to let, all empty, and I was like, oh my god, it's gone. Then I actually read the sign and it had moved, and I went down to see it, and I was so relieved I had to buy something there and then. And it was, they had a table for Salman Rushdie and all of his books, and I haven't talked about the Salman Rushdie thing. I haven't necessarily felt I'm the right person to talk about it, but I do want to show support to an author who has been through an abhorrent incident and also just a horrific time, because he wrote what he felt he wanted to write, and freedom of speech and everything. So I want to support him. And so yeah, I'm going to give this a whirl. And it's a bit fantastical, and I have been in the mood for slightly fantastical books since I read Juno Dawson's Her Majesty's Royal Coven. And I am noticing that my taste might be changing a little bit with reading, and I might have to do like an almighty cull before the end of the year, because I have got books on there that I bought like over a decade ago, and I was a very different reader then, and I feel like I'm having a shift with my reading at the moment now, so maybe that's why I've also been a bit funky, because sometimes when you're transitioning through different things, not to go too deep about it, but that can be the way it can be. So that's kind of what's been going on. What is going on is I'm on the home run of story trails and the live events. We have Swindon this weekend. As this goes live, it'll have been done. Then we've got Slough, and we've got Lambeth, and then we've got Lewisham. And then I've got a month of admin, and then I leave. So that's quite mad. Sky Arts Book Club Series 3 is back on the 7th of September, and I have a day of doing press with Andy on the 8th of September. That's very exciting. I may be doing a spooky seance event, which will be an online event, which I'll tell you more about when I've got more details on recording it on the 12th of September. But that's going to be a real experience for me, because if you've known me a long time, you'll know I love Most Haunted. It's one of my favourite things on earth, and it has a Most Haunted link. That's all I can say for now. And then I'm doing an event with Damon Galgo, who may or may not be a new favourite author that I might have mentioned recently, well, mere minutes ago on here, in October. So those are some of the events that I've got coming up. I've also got a little bit of surgery to fix my tooth, so that's exciting at the end of September. People tell me that they're not aware of it at all. Please don't tell me if you're aware of it in the comments down below, because it'll really bother me. But I've become aware of it, so that's why I don't need anyone else to tell me they're aware of it. In fact, I shouldn't have even brought it up, but that's what's happening at the end of September. And what else is going on? Oh, the big thing. Come October, but we'll talk about it more probably in September and October's Cuppa and a catch up. But in fact, actually, hang on. Let me just pause for breath for a second. Ooh. There we go. But yeah, because come the end of October, apart from one day a week for Sky, I'm gonna be technically unemployed. And what I've decided to do, I don't know if I talked about this in here or not, I think I have, is take a self-funded sabbatical, because I've worked a lot over the last 2 years, and I've been screwing away, plus my patrons have supported me, and that's actually going to get me some more kit to do some more editing and try some new funky things out with videos, which I'm really excited for. And that's what I want to use. Basically a self-funded 6 month, potentially 3 months I'm going to save at first, and then maybe 6 months, depending how I go and how long funds last. But that was a big decision, an interesting conversation, both with work and other people and all sorts. But yeah, I'm going to have 3 to 6 months off. I say off, I'm still going to do like author events if I get invited to. I'm still hoping to like do, well, I will be doing YouTube and stuff, just possibly. I think less is more with YouTube, I've decided, for me. But also there's little things going on, so hopefully I'm going to be going back to doing much more curation for the Gladstones estate, both in Harden in Wales and in Glendive in Scotland, on both of their estates. And there's possibly something Australian in the works for next spring, which is ridiculously exciting. So there are bits and bobs I'm going to do, but the 9 to 5, I want to just have a bit of a break from, because since I did Novels That Shaped Our World back in 2022, and then did what was only meant to be an 120, I think, event program across 55 library services, due to the pandemic, became over 300 events with over 65 library services. Or was it 40? No, it was 45 originally, and then it went to 55. Let's not over egg your pudding, Simon. It didn't go to 65 library services, it was 55. And was just like, I had to reschedule it so many times because of the pandemic and everything. It was a mammoth project. Then I took on Story Trails before I'd finished it, because during the pandemic, you never knew what was going to happen with freelance work and contracts and all that kind of stuff. And then once I'd stopped doing novels, I started doing BBC Big Jubilee Read. And then of course there's been filming Sky Arts Book Club Series 3, which, like I said, is out in a couple of weeks on Sky Arts. And I'm doing all of the Sky Arts Book Club Extras, which is my own solo show on their Facebook. So it has been bonkers busy, but I've been squirreling and I've been able to buy some time to just relax a bit and not stop, but I definitely, when I have stopped more, enjoyed it, like this last few weeks, like when I went away for my 40th. And I feel like my 40th year has been slightly sidetracked by how busy the summer has been, and there were certain things that I really wanted to do within it. And the possibility now maybe of having my 41st birthday, so ending my 40th year in Australia, is very, very exciting to me, but I don't want to jinx it because it isn't 100% yet. So yeah, so that's kind of what's coming up. I've wanged on for way longer than I meant to. I think I meant to have checked out of this lovely apartment by now and be heading on the train to Swindon to go and see my colleagues, but oops. So yeah, let me know any of your thoughts on my thoughts or anything else. Like I said, and I've said before, please don't feel like you need to say, oh Simon, you're being hard on yourself or da-da-da-da. I'm not, I'm just literally telling you what's going on and how I'm feeling about things. And I'm in a really good place now. I wasn't maybe a week ago, but I definitely am feeling like I've kind of worked it all out and given myself a breather to sort of just, well, breathe, which I'm not very good at doing these videos because I just like to talk really fast and get it all out. But yeah, I am definitely feeling like, come on then, final quarter of 2022, and let's be having in year 2023. Let's hope that doesn't jinx it. But I would love to know in the comments down below what you've been up to, what you are up to at the moment, and what you have lined up. Lots of fun things, please. And then I'd also like to know, what are you reading or about to read? Let me know that in the comments down below. And also, what would you like to see on the channel? I always ask, I'm open to suggestions. Oi, oi. So yeah, let me know all of that. And I will be back on Wednesday with a read with me video at Rheagoth, one of my favourite places in the world, where yeah, it's just me reading out with a little bit of rain, some sheep, not literally with me, but like noises all around me, and just having a lovely reading time. And lots of you have asked for one of those, so I thought, well, you've asked for it, I'll give you it. You better link and watch it. But yeah, I am open to suggestions, like I said. So leave me some of those and what you're reading, what you've been up to, what you're up to, and what lovely things you've got planned. And I will see you very, very soon. Bye.